Destin, another good Destin story here. Mass Effect. Any Mass Effect news, and I automatically see drool start to come out of the corner of your mouth.
Well, this one,
today you're gonna see some tears.
This one's exciting, and
but also
can I loop it in with the other story, the last one, because they're kind of together.
Oh, sure, go for it. Yeah, it makes sense.
So the Mass Effect Andromeda lead writer Chris Schlurf. He's leaving BioWare Montreal to join Bungie and work on the story of Destiny.
Boy, if you're
Destiny jokes here, everybody.
If you're gonna leave BioWare and Mass Effect, I guess that's what you leave it for. Yeah,
well, Destiny's a big game, but they have a huge challenge for Destiny 2, the sequel. And that's where I want to kind of bring in the other story for a second. The Destiny sequel and expansion are given release windows. We're getting a large new expansion to Destiny in 2016. We knew that already. And a full game sequel in 2017.
Vince owes me a steak dinner.
Okay, I want to point it out. That isn't confirmed yet.
Oh my God!
That it has a number.
You lost the bet, Sean.
The bet was that you said it would have like a number in the title.
I did say that.
Nowhere in here does it say that. Like
game's gonna be called Destiny 2. Are you crazy?
It says it's just a full Destiny sequel.
Called Destiny 2.
It doesn't say that part.
I'll bet you steak dinner.
So what are they gonna? I'm just saying that the bet isn't over yet.
What I'll say is the expansion packs are all called Destiny : blah blah blah.
Yeah.
The full game, they're going to put the number on it. Otherwise, people are going to confuse it for an expansion pack. It will be Destiny 2, maybe Destiny 2 : blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But there will be a number 2 in there.
Okay.
The only question is if it will be an Arabic number 2 or a Roman numeral 2. That's it.
So the Destiny expansion and sequel news, that's kind of a little bit older. This BioWare Destiny thing just happened like yesterday. So
BioWare's been losing a lot of talent too.
Chris Schlurf, what do we know that he's worked on before? Anything?
Yeah, actually I looked this up and I totally forgot.
While Mitch looks that up, let's talk about Mass Effect 4 for a second.
Yeah,
Chris is saying it's really gonna blow people away. So
this doesn't mean anything. This is the equivalent of like the quote from the Falcon actor in the Avengers, be like, the new Civil War movie is the best Marvel movie yet. Like, nobody's going to say, it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Well, Age of Ultron was better, but this one's fine.
Okay, I love this quote because he definitely believes in Mass Effect 4. Of course, he's not going to say something bad about his previous employer, but that gives me high hopes for Mass Effect Andromeda. That's great. And this guy is now going to go work on the Destiny sequel, which means Bungie really cares about nailing that story in the sequel. They have to eat humble pie for that sequel, or they're screwed.
It tells me that they're saying, okay, let's spend the money and let's play, New York Yankees kind of baseball, and let's go sign an external solution and pay whatever that's going to take to bring in somebody to help us out making Destiny 2's story great.
Chris was excited to work on Mass Effect. He seems excited to work on Destiny. There's also another quote that's not here. It's like, I think we have some great stories to tell. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But it was something along those lines.
He also wrote on Halo 4.
Awesome. Halo 4. That was the other big one. That's right. So
I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Pretty excited about this.
I really
this
like
shift.
Campaign.
Two great games ideally are the outcome of this.
And I will say, if you're a big Mass Effect fan, like I know you are, Destin, I wouldn't sweat this too much because I have to figure the bulk of the writing is over on Mass Effect Andromeda. Now, this of course means that Chris won't be writing on Mass Effect 5, 6, etc.
Yeah. What might have happened is he might have laid the groundwork for any sequels that link together in the way Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3
just as Drew Karpyshyn wrote the first game and kind of laid out the groundwork for the sequels before he left BioWare.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might very well be right. But yeah, I think this isn't going to have a big effect on Andromeda itself because that's probably already largely in the can from the writing perspective.
I kind of wonder if Chris is the kind of guy that can't stand working on something for more than 3 years. Does Halo 4, he's like, all right, that's enough Halo. Does Mass Effect, all right, okay, that series was cool.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. I don't know. This just gives me so much hope for Destiny because they're like they can't do what they did with the first one in terms of narrative. Like they know they have to have more than just a world.
All eyes will be on the story
Big
for
time.
Destiny 2.
I think they understand that. I mean, we talked a lot about it on Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny podcast that Destin and I host, where the Taken King shows that they obviously paid a much higher degree of attention to storytelling and characterization and all that. I just love that we're reading that it's news to us and to the community and to gamers out there that we're talking about writers, because it just shows us that, I don't know, we're at a point where writing is important in games and people want good writing. And for a lot of people, it is what they play games for. And especially, you know, I like you, I'm a huge fan of both Destiny and obviously Mass Effect. The writing and the characterization in the first 3 games is basically what brought me to that series, and so I have high hopes for Andromeda. And so to talk about writers of this caliber working on stuff like that and then moving to different properties and potentially bringing their quality to that franchise as well, that's super awesome for me, and it's just good for gamers.
Developers, look at Street Fighter V.
Don't.
Well, no. Let me, as a bad example of what not to do, they released a bare bones product and they pushed the story out to June, and people are like, this isn't acceptable. And releasing products that are bare bones is becoming less and less acceptable to the audience.
More on that, listen to IGN Overclocked, where I'm going to talk about that aggressively.
Just a minor note on the Street Fighter thing. Didn't at some point, though, Capcom say they wanted to start thinking of those games, or not just those games,
as a platform?
Yeah, as a platform, as a service. So doesn't this kind of fit in line with that?
Fits in line with it. It doesn't mean it's the best thing for the consumer.
But you're still not. The problem is that it's still a $60 game.
Yeah, exactly. Your service cannot
you're
be
not paying $15 a month or something.
Your service cannot be a $60 skeleton.
Right.
Yes. Exactly.
That makes sense. So that's just like a philosophical difference. The philosophy is right. Games as a service, but then how you charge people is wrong.
Yeah.
Games can be a bare bone thing that builds over time and grows over time if you're paying like $10 a month to do it, or like $15 like in World of Warcraft, you're paying a subscription model and the game evolved
that's a
over
terrible
10 years.
example. Well, I think that's a really bad example, Sean, because World of Warcraft launched and it had a ton of content at launch.
Well, it's a different game. It's an MMO. But if you compare World of Warcraft Vanilla to Burning Crusade, the follow-up, you're paying the same amount for both, and one's a much bigger and much more different game. My point is that not that Street Fighter should do what World of Warcraft does, but that World of Warcraft got it right in terms of selling the game as a service and then charging the right amount for that service.
Yes.
Whereas Street Fighter is, let's do the service thing, but it's still $60, which is the price tag we pay for a complete package.
Or you could be Halo 5 and ship a complete game with full single player,
and
full co-op, amazing multiplayer, and then update it for free every month with new maps and things. Grand Theft Auto 5 also falls into the same category with Grand Theft Auto Online.
Exactly.
Check out the goodwill that those two games engender in their communities, and guess what? Everybody that bought Halo 5 and GTA 5 are going to buy GTA 6.
You know how Halo 5 supports it? Rec packs. GTA has a similar online currency, I believe, where you kind of support them through that manner.
That's what I was going to say.
But it's totally optional.
Totally optional.
And
you don't need
isn't
to buy
rigged
it.
to need it.
As a caveat for that, like there are the rec packs that you can buy. out of just the way I don't buy things unless I really have to, so I just earn the in-game currency by playing and then use that to buy the requisition packs. There is now this arena bundle that's available. If you guys haven't been paying attention to Halo 5, it's $25. So that's something that the community is like, that's a little steep. But that's the stuff that's keeping all of this map packs, all of these map packs optional and free. Yeah.
This is a way bigger topic. We should probably move on to some numbers.
Something a little fluffier?
Yeah. Well, we could talk about it for a very long time.
So that's a whole show right there.
Yeah, it is.